Let me ask you a question. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? For millions of people, the answer is, they check the news. They open their phone, they turn on the television, and they immerse themselves in a 24-hour cycle of headlines, alerts, and financial commentary. And they believe this makes them informed. They believe it makes them smarter investors. What if I told you that this very habit, this daily ritual of staying informed, is actively poisoning your ability to build wealth? What if the constant stream of financial media is not the solution, but the problem? This isn't my opinion. This is a cornerstone of Charlie Munger's philosophy. He didn't build a fortune by reacting to headlines. He built it by ignoring them. He understood a profound truth, that the news is poison for the rational investor. Now, I don't mean poison in the sense that it's always factually wrong. I mean it's poison for your decision-making process. It systematically corrupts the clarity, patience, and long-term focus that are essential for successful investing. Today, we're going to break down exactly how this poison works, and more importantly, how you can build the immunity that Munger spent a lifetime cultivating. The first layer of the poison is what I call the illusion of urgency. The entire financial media ecosystem is built on one principle, that everything happening right now is critically important and demands your immediate attention. A 2% market move becomes a plunge. A quarterly earnings report becomes a blockbuster surprise. An analyst's comment becomes breaking news. This creates a false sense of emergency. It makes you feel like if you don't act now, you will miss out or suffer a catastrophic loss. But let's apply some Munger-style reality testing. How many of these urgent news events actually matter to the intrinsic value of a business you own over a 5 or 10-year period? The answer is almost zero. The business of Coca-Cola did not fundamentally change because of last Tuesday's inflation report. The long-term prospects of a great company are not altered by a headline about the latest geopolitical tension. Yet, the media makes you feel like they are. It forces your attention onto the daily ticker tape, distracting you from what truly matters, the slow, steady compounding of business value. Munger and Buffett succeeded in part because they operated in Omaha, far from the frenetic energy of Wall Street. They created their own information environment, one of calm deliberation. You need to do the same. The second layer of the poison is the cult of personality. Financial media is not staffed by dispassionate logicians. It's filled with charismatic pundits, loud opinion makers, and so-called experts who are paid to be entertaining and certain. They speak with absolute conviction about where the market is headed next week, next month, next year. This is a seductive trap. It's comforting to listen to someone who sounds like they have all the answers. It relieves you of the hard work of thinking for yourself. But Munger would say this is a form of intellectual surrender. The world is far too complex for anyone to reliably predict short-term market movements. These pundits are not prophets, they are performers. Their primary goal is to secure your viewership, not your financial future. When you outsource your thinking to a television personality, you are handing over the keys to your financial kingdom to someone whose incentives are not aligned with yours. Their success is measured in ratings. Your success is measured in the long-term growth of your capital. These are two entirely different games. The third and most insidious layer of the poison is the amplification of noise. The media doesn't just report on signal, the truly important, fundamental data, it massively amplifies the noise. Noise is the endless chatter, the irrelevant data points, the temporary fluctuations that mean nothing in the grand scheme. Our brains are not naturally good at distinguishing between signal and noise. We are wired to pay attention to new, dramatic, and alarming information. The media exploits this vulnerability relentlessly. It floods your mind with noise, making it nearly impossible to hear the faint, important signal underneath. Think of it this way, trying to make a good investment decision by watching financial news is like trying to listen to a symphony while standing next to a jackhammer. The jackhammer, the noise, is so loud and distracting that it completely drowns out the beautiful music, the signal. Munger's approach was to simply walk away from the jackhammer. He tuned out the noise to focus entirely on the signal. So, how do you actually build this immunity? How do you go from being a passive consumer of this poison to becoming a disciplined, Munger-like investor who is immune to its effects? The first step is to conduct what I call an information diet audit. For 1 week, I want you to keep a log of every single piece of financial media you consume. Every news alert, every YouTube video, every television segment, every tweet. At the end of the week, review the log and ask yourself one brutal question. Which of these pieces of information will have any impact on my investment decisions 5 years from now? I can guarantee you that 99% of it will be irrelevant. This exercise alone will expose the sheer volume of poison you are voluntarily ingesting. The second step is to engineer your environment. You cannot rely on willpower alone. You must make structural changes. Delete the news apps from your phone. Or, at the very least, turn off all notifications. Unsubscribe from the frantic YouTube channels and newsletters. Curate a feed that is dedicated to education and long-term principles, not daily speculation. Designate one specific, limited time for market updates. Perhaps you look at your portfolio once a week, or even once a month. You do not need a daily update. By doing this, you are not becoming uninformed. You are becoming selectively informed. You are creating your own intellectual oasis, just like Munger in Omaha. The final step is the most important. You must shift your focus from macro to micro. The financial news is obsessed with the macro, interest rates, GDP, elections, global events. These are things you have absolutely no control over and, more importantly, that are nearly impossible to profit from predictably. Munger and Buffett almost entirely ignore the macro. Instead, they focus on the micro, the specific business they are investing in. Is it a good business? Does it have a durable competitive advantage? Is it run by honest and capable managers? Is it priced attractively? This is the signal. This is what matters. Redirect the time and mental energy you save from avoiding the news into truly understanding the companies you own or want to own. Read their annual reports. Analyze their financials. Study their competitors. This is the work that leads to wealth, not watching a pundit scream on television. The financial media sells you a narrative of chaos and complexity because it's good for their business. But the path to building wealth is, in principle, simple. It requires patience, discipline, and a fierce focus on a few fundamental truths. It requires the wisdom to ignore the irrelevant. Charlie Munger's success is a testament to the power of ignoring the poison. He understood that the greatest asset an investor has is not a high IQ, but a tranquil mind. A mind that is not constantly being jerked around by the latest headline, a mind capable of calm, independent thought. So, the next time you feel the urge to click on a dramatic financial headline, I want you to remember this. That click is a dose of poison. It's a hit of a drug that clouds your judgment. Choose instead the antidote. Choose clarity. Choose silence. Choose the Munger way. Turn it off. Your portfolio will thank you for it.